now it's starting to stream. And this is live now. So now that it's starting to stream, you refresh this page. Let's make sure it's not a public page. It's unlisted. So we already have 4 people on. This is with my account, but whatever.
Yeah. It's not completely dark yet.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna. It's on. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Okay, now this is the difficult part. It's like getting the link. It should come up here. Far out. It's not. Because we need that link in order for this to work. This is very DIY right now. Hey Rocco, you should train whatever your goals are. Whatever your goal is, and then work backwards and train specifically on what you need to work on based on your goal. For example, finishing, then you do, what are the important elements of finishing. So, no. Okay, maybe sometimes you need to use the share link. Oh, here we go. All right, done. Start it here. Copy. Go back to the app. Update. Online. Okay, so now we're live. Okay, so the sound's working, everything's working. Oh, in residence. What? New thing. Now we go back to the app. And it's working. Yeah. So now you're technically live. Hey, Ben. So you're live. It's, get a seat. Sorry guys, we just had some issues getting set up. We are watching the Juventus Real Madrid game. We got Mo and we got Corbi that's going to be talking to you today about the mentality of a pro footballer. And we're going to be using some real examples that we see. I'm not going to be here, by the way. It's Mo and Corbi. Some real examples that they're going to see. And we're going to be watching the match together, Juventus Real Madrid. Of course, we're not going to be able to show you the match because of very obvious reasons, copyright. So that's what we're going to do. And well done, Ben, on finishing the Anywhere workout. And we're just going to get right into it. So, Corbi? Let's go here. And it's good to take mental notes for SoundCloud, for podcast later, like, in terms of, like, what is the best content from today. Okay, yeah, so, let's see. We got Corbi here today.
What's up?
We're going to be watching the match. Not me. Mo is going to come soon. It's good to play the sound, actually. Who else here is watching Juventus versus Real Madrid? First thing about a mentality of a footballer. Now we just had a pass that didn't quite work out for Ronaldo. What do you do in those situations when a pass doesn't work out?
When a pass.
What's the difference between like how you react.
Main difference I think is player like Ronaldo. He like for him, obviously he's not happy if he makes a mistake, and after a match he's gonna think about it and try to work on it maybe or try to improve it. But during a match, he thinks about it for 1 second and then he continues doing his thing and just like tries to not focus on it and focus on the next situation. And like a younger player maybe or a less experienced player, they sometimes what a save. They sometimes dwell on situations like that, which then completely ruins their game, like the whole game for the rest of the game. And yeah, that's a big difference between professionals and amateurs.
Big difference. They don't dwell on their mistakes. Mistake happens. It happens. It happens to everyone. Ronaldo, Messi, Hazard, Hazard. Every player. Elliot on the right here. Corby, me. Everybody makes mistakes, and the most important thing is not to dwell on them. Is that you got to move on. You got 90 minutes in a match. You're gonna have more opportunities. And this shot here, it just fell to which player was it? Higuain.
Yeah.
Elliot, you want to join in? Should we talk about the mentality today? While Mo is running late today to the Mo is running late today to our discussion about the mentality of a pro footballer, but filling in right now will be Mr. Elliot Ryland. So please welcome Mr. Elliot Ryland, big Liverpool fan.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, effective fan? Oh, sitting there?
Yeah. Make sure you got the microphone close like this, because
Second fan, Liverpool fan.
Yes, sir.
let's make sure you're in the shot.
Just do my hair. Sup, fam? Am I leading this or what? I'm
Yeah, you're gonna. No, just kidding.
I'm not leading it. Lead away.
Alright, Tusha, who are you rooting for, Madrid or Juventus? Oh, it's gonna be so delayed.
I hope Juventus.
You hope Juventus?
Yeah, Madrid has won it too many times past few years, and if Liverpool doesn't win it, then I wouldn't mind seeing Buffon win it for once.
Yeah.
He's a great player.
Liverpool's playing tomorrow against
Yes.
Smith City.
Big one. Big time.
What do you think is gonna happen? What do you think is going?
I could see it being 1-1.
1-1?
I hope it's 1-0, but it's a very good team we're playing, so we'll see. What do you think? Careful how you answer.
Actually, I'm a big Liverpool fan. Actually, like I like Liverpool a lot.
See, I knew he had good taste, so
But I think in the form that Man City is at the moment, it's just
they're scary.
gonna be very, very difficult for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, who's your favorite player from Liverpool?
Current or
Current.
Oh, Firmino. I love Firmino.
Firmino?
I love Firmino. He's like funny, like cool and weird, but like
Yeah.
fantastic player as well, and works really hard. It's like, yeah. You?
Yeah. Ooh,
If you could steal one player, take him to Bayern, who would it be?
well, obviously there's Salah, but
Yeah. But you
I
got a
don't
lot of wingers at Bayern now.
yeah. So I don't know. It's
Ben
tough.
said he wants Juventus to win.
Juventus.
Good man.
I don't know. I like Emre Can, but I don't know. He's at least like when he plays for the national team for Germany, he's very inconsistent.
Yeah.
But I don't know how.
For us too. Like, yeah, that's Emre Can. Still.
Still inconsistent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then I don't know. Other than that, I'd say yeah, Firmino is great. Definitely Mane. I don't know. So many good players.
I could see Van Dijk in Bayern.
Yeah.
Like, who are your centre backs right now? You have Hummels, I know that.
Hammers and Boateng.
Oh, okay,
Jerome
never mind.
Boateng. Yeah, and they just got another really young player, Sule. He's also plays for the national team. I think he's gonna be even better than Hummels. In the
Really?
future, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mo, you're late. When are you coming?
Mo is
Yeah.
fueling up.
Yeah.
He needs the fuel to talk to you guys with passion, energy,
Yeah.
Today's topic is the mentality of pro football.
the mentality.
Are there any questions that you always thought, how does that player react to that situation? Or things that you always admire about mentally, or mentally an athlete or footballer.
Definitely the never say die attitude. The famous football matches and the ones you remember are the ones where you're losing 2-0 and then somehow your team scores 3 in the last 10 minutes. And those are the games where I think you really see the difference between people who give it everything and people who just, they're happy being in the Premier League or happy being, in the team.
Yeah.
But they don't want it with everything, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
To show my favorite team is Bayern Munich, obviously, because I'm from Munich. Yeah. Yeah. In terms of like mentality, I think. Do you have like a specific player that you look at and where you say his mentality is really really good?
Well, the cliche, like the first one that comes to mind, you can probably guess, is Gerrard. Always like the captains, always like led by example, and I mean when we talk about sort of like never giving up, Gerrard's, there's an FA Cup where like they call it the Gerrard FA Cup because he basically like almost one-handedly won it.
Yeah. Gerrard.
Yeah, Gerrard is definitely the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah.
I think Ronaldo is another character who,
for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, I think another player would probably be, for me, probably Sergio Ramos. Which is always, not always pretty how he plays, but he just plays with just, I don't know, passion, and he just gives it everything, and you can see that. Sometimes that leads to red cards, but other than that, nah, yeah.
The red cards almost give him like a fear factor too. Like,
yeah, that's true actually.
Like sometimes you need a little bit of that in your team. Just like one guy who's the dick.
Yeah.
the asshole.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say another player?
I'm just thinking, Mo, what player do you think has like the best mentality at the moment in football?
Oh my goodness. I don't really know, but I can't compare anybody, to players like, actually players like Ryan Giggs,
Ryan Giggs?
Ryan Giggs, I'm just showing an example, or I don't know if some of the guys knew who Romario was, They were such, players that when you, for example, if they got kicked, they never reacted to, to that, incident.
Yeah.
Or like going to the referee, attacking the referee. I never saw, Romario or neither Ryan Giggs, doing such. So this can also be like, it can also bring down the morale of a professional player.
Yeah.
But especially when, I'll give you one example also about Man United when Eric Cantona, I think a fan was trying to like provoke him.
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the video?
Yeah.
So those are things that a professional player that that you're not allowed to do actually. You're gonna have to keep your calm, no matter what happened. It was like, let me say I'm going out to religion. Jesus Christ when he was on earth, There were people mocking him. There were people abusing him. There were people doing all kinds of, throwing all kinds of hints at him. But actually, if you are there to do your work, you do your work. Like a professional player, you're gonna have to show example so that people will follow.
Yeah.
So right now, if you ask me the question, who do I think, that has the best mentality as a professional footballer? I say no one right now. No one. I don't think so. I don't know. Because it seems to be that the game is changing, a lot. So I think FIFA has to do something about it. I mean, they should try to introduce, a kind of rule that if a player play at a professional level, he misbehave, there should be such, punishment, which he wouldn't have to do it again anymore. But right now, to answer your question, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think one player maybe who. Yeah, sure. One player who I see who I don't know, seems to be really calm on the pitch, but also his mentality seems to be really good is Kante.
Yeah.
He works a lot, and I don't feel like he's a player who would, who talks to the referee too much or complains or something like that.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite players, full stop.
Yeah.
When Mo was talking about Romario and people who get kicked and they just play on, one player that I do think of is obviously Messi. He gets kicked a lot. And it's rare you see Messi kind of. I mean, he will speak to the ref, but I think he's is he captain? Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes definitely for Argentina, but yeah.
I can have Mo slide.
No, sit there. Sure. All three, you can do it.
I'll do it.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, yeah, good. That's fine.
You just have to go a bit more so you're in the picture.
I do.
Just make sure you cover the Chelsea.
Yeah, there you go. All right, there you go.
Tuchel said Ronaldinho is a good example, and Coutinho.
Ronaldinho.
You think Ronaldinho had a good?
Well, yeah, at least, sometimes, even though he he was angry, did his, show action his sign, but I never saw him fighting actually. I never saw him fighting. It was a good example actually.
He's also a really happy player, right?
He was always smiling.
Smiling,
So that's good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's one player who always looked like he plays for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Always.
Exactly.
That's how he plays as well.
Yeah.
So in terms of obviously we talked about players who work a lot on the pitch and who also maybe don't complain as much. But what about I don't know, before a match or preparing for a match? I mean, there's definitely a lot of discipline that you need, and I think there are players like Ronaldo who just works extremely hard to be as good as he is, and so I think discipline definitely one of the most important things as a player, right?
Yeah, sure. Without discipline, I'm telling you, in any society, without discipline.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Without discipline, you're zero.
I always want
What a
to hear
shot.
you guys talking about who have no good mentality, a good player.
Who has bad mentality? That's
Bad mentality.
Sanchez.
Sanchez.
Why?
Because he's always complaining to his teammates and doing this, and I always think if you were my teammate, that would eventually start to make me not I don't want to be teammates with you.
Yeah.
I think it's good to complain and maybe push your teammate a little bit.
Yeah.
But almost every game, I feel like I see in Arsenal.
Yeah.
When he was at Arsenal, Sanchez would always be complaining.
I mean that's what they said. That's what they said. They said in the end, right? That nobody really liked him at the end or something. At Arsenal. I think another example might be Balotelli. I don't know. I think he has just so much talent and so much. I don't know, just so much ability really, and I think he just didn't work enough and maybe party too much. I don't know what he did, but he just kind of wasted his potential.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So why some players that there is no good mentality still got there? still get there. Like they
They still
can.
get.
Yeah. It could also be maybe because of the contact and yeah, more especially if you are a star player in the team and you play in a strategic, position on the field where nobody else is there to compete with you. There are players like that. If I know that I'm playing, the holding position, and there's no one, for example, if I get a substitute who can go and make a difference, and I will always want to show off, and I think somebody like you were saying Balatoli or whatsoever, if you look at if you look at this guy, he got all the talent that you can think about that a footballer has.
Yeah.
But see, what took him from England, all because of his his behavior.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to, I would say, humble yourself, no matter whether you are up, you're a star player or not. If you humble yourself, this is how you're gonna progress. Always treat yourself lower than like the other players. Don't be so extra. Don't show extra that you are better than the other players. I think this is something that you need to actually put in mind as a professional player. Humble yourself and do what the trainer tells you to do, follow instruction, and also listen to your teammates.
Yeah. I think that was. Do you remember that when Man City played against LA Galaxy or something? Do you know that one where he's like in front of the goal and just tried to do a back heel and missed?
And then I think Mancini took him off like
right
straight
away.
Yeah. One thing that I think of is it could be a fine line, because if you are like Sanchez, I think Sanchez is like that to his teammates because he's like that to himself too. So he demands every day push.
Yeah.
And so when he sees his teammates make a mistake, he will try push them. But I think there's a fine line where you have to be really hard, but at the same time, you don't want to be too much like Sanchez.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's not good to show. To let the public see what what you're doing to your teammates. There's a way. Maybe I could just come closer to Kobe and say, Kobe, look, do it this way the next time. And so it's better that way.
Yeah, but there are definitely like more things that add up to like the mentality aspect, because I think in terms of like discipline and work ethic, Sanchez is probably one of the greatest, best players that Arsenal had, or still one of the best players in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
But he's just maybe too much to function in a team. I don't know. Yeah.
And to be fair with him, it's not like Arsenal are doing great, so I can see. I know.
For sure.
Too bad Hashi is not.
Yeah, Tusha, exactly. Treat your teammates how you want to be treated. For sure.
You can take part as well. Ask questions.
Yeah, Guy, you want to ask?
Yeah?
If you have any questions, Tusha or Ben,
Sit on the ball there. Sit on the
feel
ball
free to
over there.
ask. Yeah.
I don't have much questions.
Yeah, eat some food, and then so nobody's on today because you see, there's no need for us to stay here, This is actually nobody's.
Messi is very humble player.
Messi is a very humble player. Do you agree?
Yeah, Messi?
Yeah. Messi is a very humble player.
I remember a moment in Messi in the World Cup, because he never won a World Cup, and I think it's one of the only things they didn't achieve yet, right?
Yeah.
And he was very angry. So I remember Messi, like after losing the cup, I think I'm talking
eliminated.
about the last World Cup. They were like the second or the third position. I don't really. Yeah, but he was very, very angry, and I saw he like getting the medals.
Yeah, I know.
And with talking to anybody, and very, very angry. So I think it showed me like a lack of humility.
Humility?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
because he shows like, oh, this position, like this medal is nothing for me. I don't care about it. I just care about being the first, being the winner. You know?
Yeah. Actually, yes. Yeah, I agree with you. You don't always have to win everything. You know, even though he has that winning mentality, but there is a time where you don't expect the lion, to always, maybe catch a prey that is to kill another animal. You should expect it to die one day. The lion, you know what I'm talking about? The lion is in the jungle. One day you should expect maybe, I don't know, another animal to kill it somehow. So it could be like, in Messi, in Messi's case, even though he did not win, or he did not win a medal whatsoever, or maybe qualify, he should let it go. He shouldn't put it on his face that, okay, I was supposed to win this medal, I was supposed to this or that. So in everything we have to be humble too. Yeah, he has to show humbleness, but he did not. So
people say that Messi don't play in Argentina as well. He plays in Barcelona, And
Well, I think that
why
has a
do you
lot to
think?
do with his teammates. I mean, his teammates at Barcelona are just the best in the world, and in Argentina, obviously, they have really good players, but not at the standard of Barcelona.
yeah, of course.
And I mean, I don't know what you were talking about with him not being happy after becoming second. I think it's kind of normal. I mean, he wanted to win the World Cup, which is the biggest thing that you can probably win as a footballer, and to not be like when you're already in the final and they won every match before that, got into the final, and then you lose. I mean, I can
you're
understand why he was not happy at that moment. But we have a question from Tusha. What mentality should you have going into a match? Mo, you want to start?
Hey, go ahead.
Me? Okay. I think first of all you have to be willing to take risks in a match. I think a lot of players when they go into a match, almost a penalty. Oh, it is a penalty? No. It's a dive.
Fair.
A lot of players when they go into a match, I think they, especially young players, they are afraid of I don't know, trying things because they're afraid of making mistakes and so on and so forth. But what the best players do is they just try a ton of things. I mean, players like Ronaldo, that there's so many possibilities where they could fail when they try things, but they just do it anyways. And I think that's one of the big reasons why they're able to play that well.
Yeah.
What else? Do you have anything else?
Yes. Let me to add to what Kobe had just said. Actually, the mentality you should have before going to a match, you should always be prepared to be provoked, either by the fans or by the referee. Maybe the referee might not be in your favor on that day or whatsoever. So these are things that you're going to have to, try to get rid of. You play your game very well. Sometimes you might think that the foul that was played, the referee should have blown in your favor. But notwithstanding, no, sometimes it doesn't happen that way. And then you get angry and you arguing, showing your hands, to the referee. That might cost you, a yellow card or be sent off. So you're going to have to be really, really, prepared. Sometimes too, your teammates, not your teammate, but your opponent are going to be kicking you on the side when the referee or the linesman is, looking. Just, to get you angry, to lose your composure. So you don't have to think of all those things. Make sure when you get there, be ready to receive, all those attacks. Yeah.
Another thing that I would add is, I mean, that has a lot to do with kind of preparation, probably during the week or the weeks leading up to it. It's just that you're physically also ready to, physically and mentally ready to play. So to work hard on the pitch, to run a lot, to make tackles, and just because a lot, at lower levels, players come in maybe tired because they didn't go to sleep early enough, or I don't know, they went out partying the night before. And I think that comes back kind of to discipline, having the discipline to do the things necessary to perform at the highest level. And so,
Yes, sure. Let me just say something also. The mentality. Maybe some of you guys might be thinking, oh, how am I going to, play against, this team? They are better than us, or they got a couple of good players than we do. So how are we going to cope with, with the kind of team like that? And maybe you're going to have that, your self-confidence is going to be very low, when you think, on such thing like that. As I said before in the previous program, that you're going to have a positive mindset going into the game. You're going to build your mind that, look, these guys are, the same number of players play against us. So why do we fear them? If a player from the opposing team is dribbling one or two or three players, I too can do the same thing. You give yourself a boast. So look, if the guy could go penetrate through my defense, I'm going to do the same thing too. You might be playing a defense, and you could say, look, okay, I'm going to stop this guy. No matter what he does today on the field, I'm going to be there. Look, just make up your mind to see, to say that, look, it's not going to work today. Either I stop him, or somebody else is, take the ball away from him. But you're going to have to be always positive, on the positive side. Build it up before going to the game. Be positive. Don't lose hope. Don't be distracted from the spectators out there. Some of them are going to be saying all kinds of rubbish against you or whatsoever, or against your team. See? Or sometimes the ball came to you and like you wanted to kick and you miskicked the ball and you hear the crowd, ooh. So, and then you become nervous. No. This is the time you're going to have to, build up your confidence and start and move on. So these are things that you're going to have to take it, very seriously, and don't think about, the negativity of the game.
Yeah. I think that also transfers to kind of achieving great things in football. I mean, in general, your career, you have to be really resilient to failure, to people criticizing you for sure, and just having bad matches from time to time. I mean, everyone has them, and you have to be strong enough mentally to just go through all of these challenges.
Sure.
No. There's a question from Tushar who says, I have very good skill, but I'm very afraid of losing the ball, so most of the time I play it simple. Oof.
Yeah. That's the right thing to do, because keeping the ball longer, you wouldn't know what to do with the ball. You're going to lose your, composure or whatsoever. But listen, the best way to do, just as you said over there, play simple. See, collect the ball. If you got one or two to dribble, do your dribbling and pass it. What do you do after passing the ball? You create space, give options to the player you pass the ball to, so that, when he gets tackled, he will have, 2 or 3 options, to whom to pass the ball to. So don't always just play simple and then you stay to where you are. Be creative and move into the game. Keep the ball to yourself. Be a team player. Don't be selfish. Yeah, you're going to have to play. That's why everybody is, playing a strategic role on the field. You're going to have to help one another. So if you do it qualitatively, and you're going to have to, your game is going to be under control. But if you want to take the ball alone going, that's going to bring more pressure on your team, because the pressure is going to, when you lose the ball over there, they're going to be putting pressure on your team. So just take your time, just as you said, give it and go. If you know you cannot dribble or go through that, that dangerous zone, take it easy. Pass the ball to a player and then take a proper position.
Going into, because you said you're very afraid of losing the ball. I think it depends really on the position that you play. But if you're playing offense, or let's say you're a winger or a striker, or let's say playing a number 10 or something like that, you definitely have you should be taking on players, trying to pass them and doing tricks and stuff like that. I mean, that is important to create space to, go get by players and create chances. And I think the best way to get over the fear of trying things or losing the ball is, I think, working on it in training. Actually, like when you play in training, it's you have to do those things and try it out in training, and then you'll have the confidence to have it in the match. To do it in the match. And
Alright, guys, we got like a couple of minutes to leave you guys because because of the Champions League. So we're trying to watch the two teams and how they play, so that we'll be able to come back to you maybe next time to give you some feedback on the Champions League. So I see there's none of you on the program tonight. So we got like 5 minutes more left. So if you got a question to post, then we are looking forward to answering it as soon as possible.
Guy, do you have a question?
No, I have to know if you guys saw that defense of the goalkeeper. Amazing defense.
For Keylor Navas, yeah.
Oh my God.
You mean for Real Madrid?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He was on his toes.
Yeah.
He was on his toes, yes. See? You were well prepared. So, he wasn't flat-footed,
Yeah.
But if you flat-footed before yeah. So, guys.
One question that I have is, you as a player, what are any things you did to, just before a match, to kind of prepare you, maybe to calm down before a match, to be ready, to be confident enough to play? Is there any specific things you did before a match?
Yeah, actually, what I did was because I played like a striker, as a striker. So, for example, if I were playing against Arsenal, I'm just giving an example. So I'm going to visualize those defenders that are going to be playing against me. So I make sure that in my mind, what do I have to do to get past those defenders and score a goal? So those are the things that I put in my mind before, and I bet it in myself that no matter whether there are 2 or 3, I'm going to just do something on my own. I'm going to be more faster than they do. I'm going to try to jump higher. So these are things that are playing in my mind, But before that, I always try to have a very good rest, sleep enough, and get my body relaxed before going to listen to the tactical aspect of the game, because the coach is going to come up with the tactics, what to do. And when there is a doubt in my in what the coach has explained, I always raise up my hand and I will ask 1 or 2 questions just to to have my mind clear. But if you got doubts in your mind, and then you do not ask it, and then you go on the field and the mistake comes, you're gonna blame yourself. So those are things that I used to do. Actually, I'm gonna have to. I always try to do better than on the line of speed. I'll say, okay, I'm gonna be more faster than the defender. When it came on the line of corner kick, and I said, look, that defender who is going to be playing against me today, he's already going in the air. So what do I do to get rid of him? So I always anticipate the pass. Before the ball gets to that defender, I go right, in front of him and head the ball. So these are things that I plan, so that when I get on the field, I feel relaxed.
Yeah.
But if you do not, plan, on your own mind, within yourself, it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah,
Try to close it up. And
looks like there are no more questions left. Anything else you want to say, Guy?
No. Tuchel said he is a ACM. What
No, he
does it
said
mean?
he's a central midfielder.
Central midfielder.
Yeah.
So it's good or bad to play simple?
No, I think it's as a midfielder it's good to play simple, but there are situations when you are in the I don't know, in the just in front of the goal or something, or there's situations where you have to get into one-on-one situations, then you should definitely try out things or risk things and yeah.
There's a question there, right?
A question? Oh, there you go. Tushar.
Yeah.
What should you do if you are much better than your teammates and in the games they always let you down by missing chances or taking a bad touch?
Yeah.
Comes back to Sanchez,
You
right?
scream.
Get transferred to Man United.
Oh my goodness.
Um,
No way.
Encouragement.
Yeah, actually, Tushar, you should go to a better team, first of all. That's what Sanchez did, right? No, but I mean, as long as you play for that team, you should try to help your teammates instead of yelling at them or making them feel even more. I mean, they're going to feel bad after making a mistake, and you yelling at them is going to make them feel worse, and they're going to have less confidence and do worse in the next situation. So you should always try to help your teammates and encourage them, even if they make mistakes. And that's going to actually help them and make your team better.
Exactly.
And make you win as well. But if you're still a young player, then you should try to move up the ladder, get to a better team, play with better teammates that challenge you and where you actually learn something, and that's how you get better, if you compete with players that are better than you actually, or at your level.
So,
It's like how we said earlier, treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
So like, if you made a mistake, how would you want your teammate to interact with you?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for watching and listening. Any final words, Mo?
yeah, guys, look, don't forget your drills or whatsoever. Anything that you're trying to improve on, I would advise you to take it seriously. Just do it the best way you can. Don't let anybody discourage you. And the more you practice, the better you're going to become. So we're going to leave you now. So keep your questions for the next time. Whenever we are here, we're going to help you to answer them. So until then, you're going to have to stay effective, eh?
Stay effective.
Yeah.
All right.
Where is the the side squeeze. Do you know where is the side squeeze?
What squeeze?
Okay, you don't know where you're okay. Who will tell you?
Well, that's all they have.
Who will tell
I
you?
don't know what a side squeeze is.
A side squeeze, yeah.
Side squeeze.
How many you got, man?
People trying to call me, and then when I call them, they're busy. Real Madrid the game is going to end 1-1, I think.
Where is it? Is it Madrid or Turin?
Is it Turin? Yeah. Yes. At least we got an away goal advantage.
Yeah.
It's good.